Hello my dear children, once again welcome back to our biology class. Today's class is the continuation of lesson 2 classification. From the beginning of this chapter I told this chapter is little bit difficult. In this chapter you are studying many new terms. For example, petals are 5 in number. That other name is Pentamerous. So different new terms you are studying. So you have to read and study. In this chapter mainly we have discussed about 2 kingdom classification, then 5 kingdom classification. Okay, under 5 kingdom classification we have discussed many phylum. Okay, then related to phylum Monera, phylum Protista and phylum Fungi I already gave note to you. Okay, so if you can't follow your textbook or if you have any difficulty to read your textbook, you can study that notes, no problem. Everything is there in your notes, so you can read and study that notes, no problem. Okay, then kingdom Plantae, all points are there in your textbook. At first reading maybe you will think points are not there and it is very difficult one. Okay, so first you listen my class, then read this textbook. Whole points are there that you have to study from your textbook. Kingdom Plantae, okay, and also kingdom Animalia. Same points I already discussed. So you have to read and study from your textbook. Which topic? Kingdom Plantae and Animalia. Is it clear? Okay. In our previous class mainly we have discussed about kingdom Animalia. Based on the presence or absence of backbone, this kingdom Animalia again divided into invertebrates and vertebrates. We have also discussed about difference between vertebrates and invertebrates. Then also we started invertebrates. Under invertebrates we have discussed mainly 2 phylum, that is phylum Porifera and phylum Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Okay, today here I am starting another phylum, that is phylum Platyhelminthes. General characteristics of phylum Platyhelminthes. It have thin, soft, flat body. Its body consists of thin, soft and flat. That's why they are known as flatworm. Okay, then their body is radially symmetrical. Symmetry I have already explained in our previous class. Some students there asked to me, what you explained about symmetry that is not there in your textbook. In your textbook just mentioned radially symmetry or bilateral symmetry. Then how can you understand about what is symmetry? So that's why I explained what is symmetry. Okay, now is it clear? So phylum Platyhelminthes shows radially symmetrical. That means its body can divide in any plane. Okay, then next it have a specialized cell, that is flame cell. It's mainly for osmoregulation and excretion. Okay, then sex are not separate. I told in some phylum sex are differentiated. Male organism is there, female organism is there. Anyway, in the case of phylum Platyhelminthes, sex are not separate. Okay, then example for this phylum Platyhelminthes is Planaria, Notoplana, then Phaseola and Taenia. Is it clear? Once again, phylum Platyhelminthes, it consists of thin, soft, flat body. That's why they are known as flatworm. It is simplest worm without leg. Okay, then its body shows radially symmetrical. It have a specialized cell, that is flame cells. Then it's mainly for osmoregulation and excretion. Okay, then sex are not separate. And example for this phylum Platyhelminthes are Planaria, Notoplana, Phaseola and Taenia. Is it clear? Okay. Then next phylum is phylum Nematoda. They are thread-like animal and their body consists of circular in shape. Hence they are known as roundworm. Okay, then they are free living, maybe aquatic, maybe terrestrial, or maybe they are parasites. Okay, they are free living, maybe aquatic, terrestrial, or parasites. Okay, parasites means they depend others for their food, shelter, etc. Their body covered with tough and resistant cuticle. Body covered with tough and resistant cuticle. Okay, then about alimentary canal. Okay, alimentary canal is complete and with muscular pharynx and anus. Its body mainly consists of two opening, mouth at the top and anus. Okay, through mouth food materials will enter into the body, and after whole process that waste materials will remove from the body through anus. So its alimentary canal is complete with muscular pharynx and anus. Okay, then sex are separate. Female and male sex are there. Females are longer than males. Okay, then example for this phylum Nematoda is Ascaris, Ancylostoma, Wuchereria bancrofti, then Entropius. Okay, once again phylum Nematoda, they are thread-like animals. Its body is circular in shape, hence they are known as roundworm. Then they are free living, maybe aquatic, terrestrial, parasites. Then their body is covered with a tough resistant cuticle. Okay, then alimentary canal is complete with muscular pharynx and anus. Then sex are separate, male and females are there. Female one is longer than male. Okay, then example for this phylum Nematoda is Ascaris, Ancylostoma, Wuchereria bancrofti, and Entropius. Is it clear? Okay. Next about phylum Annelida, they may be aquatic or terrestrial. In aquatic condition, can see in both fresh water and also in marine. Okay, then in the case of terrestrial, they may be free living or they are parasites. Then its body is soft, elongated or cylindrical. Body is soft, elongated or cylindrical and segmented body. That means in its body segments you can see. Okay, the anterior segments will form head. Then bilaterally symmetrical body. That means body can divide into two equal halves, that is bilaterally symmetrical. Then exoskeleton absent. Exoskeleton means hard outer covering of the body. That exoskeleton is absent in the case of Annelida, and thin cuticle is present. Instead of that exoskeleton, thin cuticle is present. Locomotory organs are segmentally arranged. In this phylum you can see segmentally arranged locomotory organs. Okay, then next about alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is like a tube and complete. That means extend from mouth to anus. Then about excretion. A specialized organ is there in the case of phylum Annelida for excretion, that is nephridia. Excretion mainly takes place through a specialized cell, that is nephridia. Then next one, nervous system. Nervous system is present and sex is maybe united or separate, and reproduction by means of sexual reproduction. Is it clear? Then example for this phylum Annelida. One important familiar example is there under phylum Annelida, that is earthworm. Earthworm is familiar to you. Okay, so example for Annelida is earthworm, Nereis and Hirudinaria. Okay, you have to study examples also for each phylum. Okay, next about phylum Arthropoda. It is the largest phylum of animal kingdom. It consists of 9 lakh of species. Its body is segmented body. It have jointed appendages and body divided into head, thorax and abdomen. Okay, then alimentary canal is completed. That means from the mouth to anus. respiration mainly through body cavity. Respiration, that means diffusion of gases, takes place mainly through body cavity. Then next about circulatory system, that is open type. Mainly two types of circulatory system, open and closed. Open circulatory system means blood does not flow through any blood vessels. Okay. Then excretory organs are absent in this case of arthropoda, and striated or smooth muscles you can see in this phylum arthropoda for rapid action. Okay. Then example for this arthropoda is apis, cancer, spider, scorpion. Once again, phylum arthropoda, segmented body, alimentary canal is complete. Then respiration mainly through body cavity, and circulatory system, that is open type of circulatory system. That means blood does not flow through any blood vessel. Okay. Then excretory organs are absent, and striated or smooth muscles you can see for rapid action. Okay. And example for this phylum arthropoda is apis, cancer, spider, scorpion, etc. Is it clear? Then next phylum, phylum mollusca. The study of animals come under this phylum mollusca is malacology. They may be marine or terrestrial. Okay. Then their body consists of soft with hard shell. In octopus, snail, you can see hard shell. Their body mainly soft and it's covered with a hard shell. Okay. This hard shell is very important point. Then circulatory system open. Open circulatory system means blood does not flow through any blood vessels. So circulatory system in this case of phylum mollusca is open. Then alimentary canal is complete. That means continuation of from the mouth to anus. Then respiration. Respiration mainly takes place through gills. So respiratory organs in the case of mollusca is gills. Then excretion. Excretion mainly takes place through kidney shaped structure. Then sexes are separate. Male and female sex you can see in this case of mollusca. Okay. Then example is Pila, chiton, sepia and octopus. Once again, phylum mollusca, the study of animals come under this mollusca is known as malacology. Then they may be terrestrial or marine. Then their body consists of soft with a hard shell. Then circulatory system open, alimentary canal is complete. Then respiration mainly takes place by means of gills. Then excretion through kidney like structure. Then sex are separate, male and female sex you can see. Then example Pila, chiton, sepia, octopus, etc. Okay. Next phylum is phylum Echinodermata. Most of the animals come under this phylum Echinodermata is marine. They may be free living or group wise. Then they are simple animals and its body may be star shaped or spherical or elongate. They are simple animals and their body may be star shaped or spherical or elongate. And unsegmented body is not segmented one. Then radial symmetry, its body shows radial symmetry. Its body can divide in any plane. Okay. Then spines are present in its body surface. Important characteristics of phylum Echinodermata is spines. Spines are present on its body surface. Okay. Then digestive system is complete. That means continuation of from the mouth to anus. Then excretory organs are absent. Then sex, they are separate, male and female. So reproduction by means of sexual reproduction. Examples for this phylum Echinodermata is Astreas. It is familiar to you, that is starfish. Then Ophiotheryx and Ophioderma. Once again, phylum Echinodermata, they are marine, maybe free living or parasite. They are simple animals, may be star shaped or spherical or elongate. Then unsegmented body, and it will show radial symmetry, and spines are present on its body surface, and digestive system is complete from the mouth to anus. Then excretory organs are absent, and sex are separate. Reproduction by means of sexual reproduction. Then example for this phylum Echinodermata is Astrias, that is starfish, Ophiothrix and Ophioderma. Is it clear? Okay. About vertebrates. Vertebrates means animals with vertebral column. Vertebral column is made up of single separate column, that is vertebra. Vertebrates means animals with vertebral column. The organism come under this group. You can see body is differentiated into head, abdomen, neck, tail, etc. Okay, it is the largest phylum Chordata. Then it again divided into arthropoda, amphibians, then mammalia, etc. Let's see in detail about. Okay, first one come under vertebrates or amphibia, that is amphibians. You can tell its characteristics. Can you tell? They are aquatic as well as terrestrial. Then this shows both the habitat, that means larval stage in water and adult stage in land. Okay. Then respiratory organs. Respiration mainly takes place through gills. So respiratory organ is gills. Then their skin is very soft without scales. Example, toad, salamander, etc. In some cases tails are also present. Okay, once again, amphibians, they are aquatic as well as terrestrial. They can see both in water and in the land condition. Their larval stage mainly in the water and adult stage in the land. Then their skin is very soft and without scale. Okay, then respiratory organ mainly gills. Example for this toad and salamander. Is it clear? Okay. Next about reptilia. First I will tell its example, that is lizard, snakes and crocodile. Can you tell its characteristics? That is, they are terrestrial and its body is very dry outer skin, and scales are present on the surface of the body, and they are cold-blooded and creeping animals. Okay, reptilia, they are terrestrial and outer skin is very dry and scales are present on the surface of the body, and they are cold-blooded and they are creeping animals. Then example is lizard, snake and crocodile. Okay. Then their respiration, mainly they breathe through lungs. Then next about heart, that is three-chambered heart. In circulatory system you have studied four-chambered heart, two auricle, two ventricle, like that four-chambered heart we have. Under this reptilia there are three-chambered heart, except one case, that is crocodile. Crocodile has four-chambered heart. Okay, is it clear? Reptilia. Okay, then next about aves. Can you tell characteristics of aves? Already you have studied. All birds will come under this group. Okay, they are warm-blooded and aerial. They are aerial vertebrates. They are aerial vertebrates, and two pairs of limbs you can see, forelimbs and hind limbs. Okay, these forelimbs modified into feathers for their flight. Then hind limbs they can use for walking, perching, swimming, etc. Okay, so two pairs of limbs you can see, forelimbs modified into feathers and hind limbs for walking, perching and swimming. Okay, then body is covered by feathers. Okay, then next point, endoskeleton is bony endoskeleton, and these bones are very spongy. Okay, light in weight. Then mouth covered with beak. Okay, then teeth are absent, and respiration mainly takes place through lungs, and four-chambered heart you can see in the case of aves. Then sex are separate, male and females you can see, and they are oviparous. They are oviparous and eggs are yolked one. Is it clear? Most of the birds will come under this A's. Okay, so once again they are warm-blooded and they are aerial vertebrates. They have two pairs of limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs. Forelimbs modified to wings for flight and hind limbs for walking, perching and swimming. Then their body is covered with the feathers and endoskeleton is bony. Bones are very soft and light in weight. Then mouth covered with beak. Teeth are absent and respiration by means of lungs. Then their heart is four-chambered. Sexes are separated. And then male and female sex you can see. Then they are oviparous and eggs are yolked. Then next about mammalia. Can you tell or can you guess characteristics of mammalia? Okay, I will explain. Mammals are the most evolved animals of the animal kingdom. Then their body divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. They have movable eyelids. Then there are two pairs of pentadactyl limbs. These are adapted for holding, walking, running, burrowing, climbing, etc. Then females possess mammary glands, that means milk producing gland, to nourish their young ones. Mammals can feed their babies. They have mammary glands or milk producing glands to nourish their young ones. Then external ears are present. Respiration occurs by lungs. Heart is four-chambered, two auricles and two ventricles. Then teeth are thigodont. Thigodont means embedded in socket in the jaw, and heterodont. Heterodont means differentiated into incisors, canines, molars, premolars. We have already studied these things. Structure of teeth and heterodont, thigodont, etc. So in the mammalia, teeth are mainly thigodont and heterodont. That means teeth are embedded in sockets in the jaw and it differentiated into scissors, canines, molars, premolars. Then sexes are distinguishable. That means male and female sex are there. Then another important point, hairs form insulating layer on mammals. Okay, on the surface of the body we can see hairs. Then sweat glands are there for producing sweat. It is one of the excretory system. Then sun glands and sebaceous glands are present. Sebaceous glands means they will give an oil appearance in our body. So mainly mammals have sweat glands, sun glands, sebaceous glands, etc. Then they are warm-blooded. Can you tell what is warm-blooded and cold-blooded animals? Warm-blooded animals are the animals that are capable of maintaining a nearly constant body temperature irrespective to the temperature of environment. Thus, their body temperature remains the same as they move from one surrounding to another. Okay, these warm-blooded animals also known as homeothermic animals. Clear? Then cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals are the animals are not capable of regulating their body temperature. So the body temperature of these animals fluctuates as they move in different surroundings with different temperature. They are also known as poikilothermic animals. Clear? From the beginning I told it is little bit difficult one. Many new terms you are studying from this chapter. So you have to read and to write and study. Otherwise this chapter become difficult. Again I am telling, if you have any doubt you can call me and I will clear your all doubts. Okay, study well. Have a nice day. Thank you.